Welcome back to Wrestling Flash. In this WWE and all things wrestling video we are going to look at Conor McGregor on WrestleMania 38, John Cena reacts to Cody Rhodes' WWE return, Ronda Rousey disputes WWE Hall of Fame walkout reports, and more. Vince McMahon epically botches Stone Cold Steve Austin's stunner at WrestleMania. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon managed to steal the show at WrestleMania 38 after epically botching Stone Cold Steve Austin's stunner. Vince McMahon was initially at ringside for the match between Pat McAfee and his protege Austin Theory, but after his victory, McAfee made the mistake of engaging in a match with McMahon. The chairman stepped up to the challenge and was able to defeat the former NFL player thanks to help from Theory before Stone Cold made his way out to the ring to ruin their celebrations. The former world champion delivered a stunner to Austin Theory after he tried to attack him from behind, before drinking a beer with McMahon. It was obvious that for old time's sake, the stunner was coming for the 76-year-old, but it appears that he wasn't prepared. Austin kicked Vince and he fell backwards into the ropes before then falling forwards and bumping the stunner before Austin was able to deliver it. It has since become one of the biggest talking points of the night, and the video of the botch has been shared around social media hundreds of times. Vince and Theory were not the only stars to be given a stunner as part of WrestleMania Sunday. Pat McAfee stepped into the ring with the Texas Rattlesnake a few minutes later and dispute being the face. He also received the iconic finisher. There have been reports that McMahon wanted Austin to be part of more WWE shows, and this could now lead to the legend making even more appearances for the company in the future. Hopefully, McMahon has learned his lesson and that is the final stunner he steps up to take on live TV. Future WWE Universal Champion Vince McMahon's prediction for current star. It looks like Vince McMahon has incredibly high hopes for a current WWE superstar. Vince McMahon came out before Austin Theory and Pat McAfee's singles match on Night 2 of WrestleMania 38. The WWE chairman received a loud chorus of cheers from the fans in attendance. Without wasting much time, Vince McMahon introduced Austin Theory to the WWE Universe and called him a future WWE Universal Champion. McMahon has been at the forefront of the pro wrestling business for decades. He has been instrumental in bringing the industry to a wider audience. His efforts towards putting WWE on the map have resulted in the company becoming a global phenomenon. McMahon has been involved in an angle with Austin Theory for several months now. The veteran has provided ample advice to the young gun and it looks like he has high expectations from him. Theory lost a long string of matches on the road to WrestleMania, which certainly didn't sit well with McMahon. The WWE chairman made an appearance during the Pat McAfee show a while ago and offered McAfee a match at the Show of Shows. McAfee's opponent turned out to be none other than Theory, and the two men finally collided in the ring tonight where McAfee emerged victorious. Theory did an interview with TV Insider earlier this year. He had the following to say about McMahon. "The one thing I've learned from him is this respectful aggressiveness, showing you have that respect, but if you have an idea and are passionate about something, you have to use that aggressiveness to go after it. There are little tips as we perform that I take away from for sure." There's no question that McMahon is high on Austin Theory at the moment. It will be interesting to see if the 24-year-old star receives a series of major pushes in the near future. What do you think? Do you share McMahon's sentiments when it comes to Theory? Sound off in the comments below. Ronda Rousey disputes WWE Hall of Fame walkout reports. Former WWE Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey has struck back at reports that she was furious at the position of her match on the WrestleMania card last night. The baddest woman on the planet faced off against Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Champion. The match ended under controversial circumstances when the referee discarded a 3 count after Rousey pinned the Queen. Charlotte then hit Rousey with a big boot for the victory. Rousey took to Twitter to talk about the reports of her being upset before WrestleMania said it and claimed that people create drama out of thin air. "I don't know where these reports come from, but it was an absolute honor to perform under Steve Austin at WrestleMania in Texas. I wasn't a Hall of Fame because I have a 6-month-old baby I had to put to sleep early. People are literally creating drama out of thin air," Rousey wrote. Initial rumors had stated that the former UFC champion was upset that her bout against SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair wouldn't be ending the first night of WrestleMania 38. Rousey had her first WWE match ever at WrestleMania 34, teaming with WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle in a victory against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. 1 year later, Rousey, along with Flair and Becky Lynch, participated in the first women's match to ever headline the Show of Shows. Following that bout, Rousey went on a hiatus from WWE, focusing on starting a family with her husband, UFC star Travis Browne. However, following the birth of her daughter Lakia, the baddest woman on the planet made a surprise appearance at the 2022 Royal Rumble. She won the Rumble match and challenged Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Of course, things didn't work out for Ronda Rousey at this year's WrestleMania. but it's safe to say we're still going to see plenty more of the baddest woman on the planet in WWE in the near future. What did you make of the Charlotte Flair vs. Ronda Rousey match at WrestleMania? Let us know in the comments section below. John Cena reacts to Cody Rhodes' WWE return. Former WWE champion John Cena reacted to Cody Rhodes' return at WrestleMania last night in an Instagram post. Cody Rhodes returned to WWE last night at WrestleMania 38 after a 6-year stint away from the company. He appeared as the mystery opponent for Seth Rollins amidst huge cheers from the fans in attendance and went on to defeat the latter with a crossroads. Cody has faced John Cena several times during his initial run with WWE. He even entered Cena's United States Championship Open Challenge in 2015 under his previous gimmick Stardust. It would be interesting to see whether the two cross paths again now that Cody is back in WWE. The 16-time world champion took to his Instagram to share a screenshot of Cody's tweet after his WWE return, where the American Nightmare poetically said, "Wrestling is a love story." During an interview with Variety, Cody Rhodes opened up on leaving AEW and why he chose to return to WWE. He claimed that he always dreamt of getting to the top in WWE, and it was a really heavy feeling for him to be able to revisit his dream again. "Everyone who knows has asked me how I'm feeling, if I'm really excited. The answer I kind of keep giving everybody is it's just a really heavy feeling. When I first got into wrestling, I was solely in the WWE system, and I had that dream of getting to the top. Then dreams are like rivers, as the Garth Brooks song says, and it veered and it changed. Then we were able to do what we were able to do with AEW, and that's something that I'm very proud of. But to be able to revisit the thing that I set out to do in the first place when I didn't think I would get that chance is just heavy," said Rhodes. Cody Rhodes severed his ties with AEW in February of this year after failed contract negotiations. His return to WWE has been anticipated since then, with reports claiming he signed with the company a while ago. What do you think is next in store for the American Nightmare? Conor McGregor reveals why he wasn't at WrestleMania 38. Recently on Twitter, Conor McGregor revealed why he wasn't at WrestleMania 38. The UFC star suggested everyone in WWE fears him, so the Irishman didn't appear at the show of shows. WrestleMania 38 was full of thrilling matches and iconic moments across two epic nights at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Iconic figures such as Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon got involved across two different nights. Taking to Twitter, McGregor reacted to WrestleMania 38 as he wrote the following: "Currently, McGregor is out of action due to a leg injury he sustained at UFC 264. The last time he fought in the UFC was against Dustin Poirier. McGregor's 2021 was rather disappointing as he lost 2 fights, both to Poirier. Conor McGregor has had his fair share of issues with several WWE superstars. One such superstar is Drew McIntyre, who previously claimed that the Irishman had no chance against Vince McMahon. McGregor is known for his incredible mic skills and oozing charisma. Over the years, he's established his place as one of the best UFC stars ever. He rose to stardom quickly, courtesy of his incredible fighting skills and trash talking. Hence, Conor McGregor would be a perfect fit for WWE. However, he's contracted with UFC as of now. Expect McGregor to return to UFC action later this year.